Hey y'all, Tahira and Christy here. Just wanted to offer some insight on Kendrick Lamar's amazing performance at the Super Bowl. One of the biggest standout pieces of the commentary involved, from black leaders down to the average white person, was it wasn't entertaining. I didn't get it. I don't understand it. I couldn't understand the lyrics. I needed something to read in order to understand who is this guy. I wasn't moved. It wasn't entertaining. What I would like to say is, just because you've come to class ill prepared, did not study or do your research on the topic of the day, does not equate what you saw as not being the most prolific example of black symbolism and education that has been performed on the football halftime stage since Beyonce the Queen herself did the exact same thing literally 2 weeks ago. You guys have to understand, we are entering into a new era of resistance, right? America is going through this requiem where they are having to reconcile with the evils of its past, knowing that the people of today are no longer tolerant of what has been spoon-fed to us for centuries, for hundreds of years, not centuries, hundreds of years. Okay. The point being, Americans have been taught one version of history, and other Americans have been taught a completely other. And America has attempted to whitewash its history, to abolish what is true and has happened, but to make other Americans, white Americans, feel comfortable about the wrongs that have been and continue to be executed every single day. So because we have this new president, because he doesn't want to acknowledge Black History Month, because he doesn't want to acknowledge the contributions that black people have made to this country since its inception, and we volunteered, we were enslaved and literally had our families torn apart from its inception to build this country for white Americans to feel comfortable. Part of the resistance is to do our very best in a very subtle way, to stick it to the man in his face with symbolism. Think about history. Think about slavery and the times that Harriet Tubman went and sent messages to the Underground Railroad in order to get slaves out of enslavement, and all the people who had to use symbolism as a way for us to communicate, because we couldn't communicate directly. What do? We sang songs. We had calls and responses. We named our kids unique names so that when we sent a message to someone to say, hey, ask about Shaquandra, we knew there was only one Shaquandra, because someone's mammy then named her baby a unique name. So when she asked about that name, she knew they were talking about her daughter. So she knew where her child was. This is our history. This is why we have unique names to this day. This is why we use symbolism in our music today, because we got to be able to find unique ways in order to get our message to our people that only we would understand. It's still happening because we are that creative. It's in our DNA to be creative, to be unique, to educate the masses in a unique way that only we can get. Why do you think? I'm not even going to go through all the details because it's already been posted so many other places what Kendrick did on that stage, which was just so profound. We literally had a Pulitzer Prize winning artist perform for us at a cultural event of American symbolism, men barbarically bashing into each other and people eating nachos. Give us a history lesson. Give us an understanding and clarify black stance within America as of right now. He basically told us all to resist. Y'all think it was about Drake. It wasn't about Drake. That was symbolism, okay? Drake symbolizes something so much greater that's happening in America. And y'all eyes were so closed you couldn't see it because you just wanted to be entertained. You just wanted to shake your ass to back that thing up and whatever Lil Wayne got to say. Okay, that's cool and all. There's times for that. But in a time such as this, we needed Kendrick Lamar. In a time such as this, we needed Beyonce to go ahead and create a country album to remind y'all that the black cowboys were the originators of cowboy. They didn't call white cattle herders cowboys. They called black men cowboys because it was a dig at us. Y'all don't even understand that history. You don't even know that history. Again, you've come to a battle of wits unarmed. So unfortunately for you, if you didn't get it, that's because you're late for class. Y'all better be grateful we have such prolific artists that have taught us over time. And if you do your work, you will understand they are literally trying to help you to resist. Understand how to work within the system, because the system exists. how to rebel against the system without losing your life, without losing a sense of yourself, and being connected with other people of African descent in this country who are not just trying to survive, but trying to thrive and build something greater, something bigger, something more monumental than just being entertainers. As a person with great talent and as an artist myself, as a creator myself, I can't do anything but sit back and smile and be grateful that this next generation is going to be all right. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We're going to be all right because it continues. The revolution will never be televised, hence turning the TV off and read. Do some research beyond what's been spoon-fed to you every single day through this doom scrolling. I really swore I was going to make this video in a minute, but I just get excited when I hear Black education and Black excellence being on full display. And one more point, 2 more points, one more. Because as much as I see the average white American in their big truck with their waving their American flag saying, "Look at me, I'm American." That's an example of the TV being on. Because the loudest person in the room feels like they're right because they're loud. But that doesn't mean that. That just means you're loud and obnoxious and probably an a-hole. But if you really truly are something, you will never have to wave it out loud. You can use symbolism and be subtle with your delivery, and the right people will get the message because it's not for everybody. Not everybody's ready for all that Black America has to give to the Americans who want to receive it. Just as subtle as somebody's license plate being personalized and them wanting to express themselves in subtle ways in order to showcase their personality. We do the same thing, but as a culture, as a collective. And this is why I love my people and why no matter what happens in our community, good, bad, or indifferent, we gonna be all right. As long as we continue to educate ourselves on our history, tell your kids' kids about your history so that this legacy continues. We got enough doom scrolling. We got enough ignorant stuff going on the internet. This doesn't need to be one of it. I'm so proud of Kendrick, and I pray that additional artists do the same. I want to see Childish Gambino have his moment as well, because let's keep elevating. Let's go, Black people. Happy Black History Month. Peace.